So we're starting to lose some of the height that we were. So it was actually going up a little gradient now, coming higher than where the missing skirt appears. They've filled it in with bricks here. These look like very new bricks that have filled in this missing bit. And it makes me think, this is the skirt, this is the edge, this is the bottom of the building. There isn't more of this cladding beneath. Just seeing the evidence along here, does support that idea.
So these bricks in arches, they don't really make any sense to me why you.
Oh yes, yeah. Yeah, I mean this one. Okay, that's me. Yeah, there's questions about this building, apparently they built this before the main building, or one of them. I'm going to have to look into that, but if so, why would you build that before doing the main building? I'm interested in the very upper section there. I meant to bring a P900 to get up close on that. I wonder if that's older to the original.
That upper bit looks, very top bit looks more realistic than that.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've got those arches that are just bricked in.
And that line along the center of the frame. What is that? Some kind of drainage for the upper floor, I don't know. But yeah, the idea that this is hiding something else remains strong. I wonder what's behind here. Obviously some building works are going on. I can't really see behind here. See what they're covering up. You've got to get permission from various bodies, I suppose, to work on a grade 3 listing. Grade 1, sorry. Fully comp. Seems to be downstairs garage through there. Can't see that. Yeah, also windows bricked in here for no good reason. Joe was telling me there was a documentary on Channel 4 recently about the cathedrals and how they only got their stained glass windows in the mid-1950s or something. And also, there's a little, what are they for? There's also, I found out that this place was the consent to build it or something was an act of parliament. An act of parliament. Why would the Catholic Church, sorry, not the Catholic, you might think of this was Catholic, the Catholic building, cathedral in this town is absolutely well, it's awful. It cannot be considered to be a a cathedral of any sort. It's this modern metal and perspex kind of macrame set. That's a cathedral, and they probably went to the moon on that little tin foil thing that they had back then. But this is obviously, and I'm going to get to it in a second, obviously below the ground here, the original ground. So this building was here before. This, or not the cladded section, I think. I'd be happy to say straight away, looking at this, that the cladding was added when it was dug back out again, and that they could only dig so far out around the whole building, and then I was in front of the windows more. So, yeah, a bit gloomy, I would have thought, to be down in this space. And so one of the problems I have is drainage for the water here, and I don't know how well you can see that. I don't think you can see that at all. No, that's better. See, there's a drainage hole there. So in order for drainage, you have to go lower than this floor and then draw it away from the building. And it was in Lettenhall an expense for them to have built in a system for the drainage of their windows that were water traps. And I see they put lead flashing on here as well in order to improve the water resistance of this said swimming pool. Maybe it was a Roman bath. So this has obviously got a different floor level. This will probably be a floor level for the room beyond here. The floor level then alters back to that level there. Yeah, so that's the floor level, the current floor level of this building, and any works. There's a plane up there. It's a very clear day here in Liverpool. I have to say, I don't know where the dust has gone, but it's nice not to have it. I have to say, there's a seagull as well in the shot. What a joy. Yeah, a beautiful day here in Liverpool. Obviously, if that's all part of the cladding, and that's all part of the same machinery that put this on top of whatever's beneath. Because I think there's something beneath. And as I said, these are not original. They're a much later addition. How did they keep these monstrous buildings warm? And who would build on such gargantuan scale? But yeah, the question as to whether this was doable for us in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, I think, if all you're doing here is forming concrete blocks and fitting them then onto something else. This has been done for a number of years, so they're pretty good at this. This is doable and not particularly outrageous in terms of its craftsmanship. Whatever you think about who and when and so on, the builders of this, it's not the same people as the guys who build this retaining wall. This retaining wall is poorly made, poorly constructed, just dabbing up the dirt, just nothing like this. We see a brick with a very thin skin that's designed to look like, it's designed to look like, it's just, these might be real stones here, and then brickwork made to look like that. Yeah, but not the same. People who cut this line in here in order to get up here, they had to build a retaining wall. It's not the same people who did this. Imagine you're doing this kind of construction here and you don't bother cutting in a nice wall, a nice entranceway for yourself. Again, illogical, improbable. So there you go. Hi. This is taking a knock. That feels like stone to me, I have to say. That does feel like a stone. But it's got this flaking on it. Yeah. Certainly says, "Look at me," doesn't it? Bit of wind here. We're back at the Lady Chapel. Spent a bit of time here the other day. Z. My boy. Hi. Z. Lady Chapel.
Nice top bits. Very, very top bits.
Up there?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. I'm not convinced about that theory myself anymore, because obviously it's the same level cladding. So it may be that they've got better works up there. Maybe they put older things that they had from previous up there. That also is possible. But I was like, okay, so I noticed these windows here also bricked in, and then just over here, I assume it must be a doorway onto this here, but it just doesn't really ring true for me to have these two doors right on top of each other in this, And if we have, as I suggest, lost feet worth of door, then the original door would have been, well, I mean, look, the archway is centered here, and then the door's off to the right of it, and that door is also off to the right. So are they later inclusions? See some rather ghastly looking things. These aren't too bad. Cherubs, I suppose, but water ingress up here, as you can see. The side looks dry. Yeah, because we've got a bank right here, we're actually banked, it's banked right next to us, Again, these are things that a logical mind would consider significant in designing something of this magnitude, or perhaps even a little Wendy house in the back garden. There's cars in there. Apparently this door got open. Let's have a look. Oh, well. Yeah, this is no surprise. Floor levels will be all over the place. Hi, mate.
All right.
How are you? What's the brick in there? You work here? Obviously you work here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice job.
Hey?
Nice job, I imagine.
Sometimes.
Interesting building.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a basement below here? Or is this the
Yeah,
lowest?
yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Because it stretches all through.
All the way through, okay.
Got little ducts and passageways.
Wow, all underneath. And then the foundation, and then the foundations below that.
Yeah.
Wow. How far down below us are you estimate?
The same amount as this. Might not be as deep.
Wow. Wow, that's about 12 foot, maybe?
Yeah, some places.
Yeah.
It's only narrow in some places.
Right.
Some places it's 8 to 10 feet.
Right. That's useful, thank you.
All right.
Cheers, man. Well, that was useful, right? You hear that? So that's this is the level we're on now, which is the parking level. It's the level to the main entrance, which is also as high as that ceiling was in there, so 12 foot high, 12 foot up. There's that much below, and the span of the building, but not all together the same levels, meaning there's different heights, because mud, the stuff gets in. The stuff gets in, and so it doesn't, you lose some of that, but they lost all of this on the outside, dug some of it back. They would have dug some of it back, but as you can see, not all the way around, because above his head over there, above his head is all soil that's retaining dirt in there, behind there. So, let's just say that's 10 foot there, and another 12 foot beneath, another 12 foot beneath. That's 22 foot. That's just to get to this bank here, 22 foot of lost building. And that's assuming that they got to all of the bottom of it. And I'd have to work on the assumption that there would still be potentially others. What I mean by that, other footage lost below. So this building, or its the original building. So this is laid on top of what they dig out. They dig it out and they put in these stairs. They dig it out and they put in this whole new facade. That's what they do. Because the facade, I mean, obviously some of it, but the facade allows it to cover up obvious things that, so it just puts these sort of windows in place. It's a nice way of being able to close off a hole. Arguably, why then those, and this plays into my double flood theory that it was a secondary repair that you see here. Secondary, but the first one was the cladding, and then the second one was the overcladding, and that was. But I can't obviously verify. I can't verify that. Just an idea. So there is at least beneath my feet, there is at least 12 feet of height of building, and so these doors would never have been doors. These doors are so high above. There would have been some kind of window perhaps here, and the original building might have had its frontage here, but where those gentlemen are standing up there, it's 40 feet, maybe 35 feet, 10 meters, maybe 15 meters. What are they up to? Maybe I can check it out. Oh, I don't know if I can get in. They're lighting a candle. They just lit a torch. Oh, they're testing it. It's to do with the 70-year thing, isn't it? Is this for the Jubilee? Nice. Getting ahead of the game, yeah. Jubilee torch. Okay, let's see what else we can see. The gargoyles do look a little bit tacked on, don't they? They're not impressive like some older places. This was maybe an attempt to recreate something, maybe a bit like Gaudi, but not on the scale, not on the quality.
The height of that.
It's 13:33, and we just got in. No problem getting in here. The scale and the height of this building are really difficult to convey. Really difficult. I mean, there's some people there in the distance. You can see how insignificant they look. By the time you get to the ceiling there, which is actually not the highest in the building, there it is. That's actually somewhat higher. And notice there's a step down to the arch, and then the ceiling is more modest. Wow, no pews. The floor height is interesting. It feels almost like it's sloping down away from you, but that may just be a thing of perspective. When we came in the main door there, we had to walk up some stairs, and then there's a sort of vaulted walkway on the right side and left as we're looking at it. Yeah, this amazes me and confounds me. I really feel like we're looking at something that was cast here, not carved. There is a little clue coming up, because the lady very kindly gave us a little booklet and said that there are animals carved into the stone. There's a little treasure hunt for children to find them. And so we'll follow those clues and see the quality of the stonework. is that carved by hand? Well, I could say that this one could be carved by hand. I could say that. I don't know though. Yeah, I mean, I could buy that. But equally, is this one cast? I thought I'd get in here and find this section of the church blew me away. Now this back wall does, above the altar. These impressive wooden crafted pews, they are beautiful, and that one can imagine a man, craftsmen, being able to fashion from wood. The stonework is another question altogether. And with such precision in every stroke, in every piece, that it looks identical. Identical. What is that? Evidence of stonemasonry? Or evidence of a cast mold? This is so big out there. Yeah, Old English. Choir. Q. And non. Has that all gone away? I don't know. Apparently the largest organs in the country. Not QAnon, this cathedral. QAnon, I don't know what that is. But I'm grateful that I was able to see it for what it was. There's a whole cloisters-y stuff. There's a whole lot of activity all going down this way. You can see there. And again, we remember, his crew, that's the maintenance guy. Maybe this is like some kind of spooky, what are they called? There's always like a scary guy that somehow did something. Look, this theory of please take care on the steps to the Lady Chapel. Again, so I can go down here. Look at that. You can go down to Lady Chapel. Nice that they did this. So, I mean, this stone has been put in after 1983 or 1994. Or maybe it was just carved in place. That's, to be fair, that's what happened there. No, maybe not. Look. Doesn't this look like new stitching? Right there. Could be just a coincidence. But this isn't very smooth actually. This you can see has been, it's got chisel marks on it. This I would accept to be stone. This I would say could be stone. The chisel marks, unless that's just part of a more modern way of making them look more like stone. But it's all got chiseling on it now. Probably punched, or it's not even that symmetrical, that sort of bishop's hat. On the left side there. This is what you'd expect from stonemasonry. It's very difficult to get it perfect. Very difficult. Seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you. Well, I thank Joe for his Liverpool hospitality. Beautiful stone. What is it? Yeah, Very interesting. Okay. Okay, Lady Chapel. And it's 5 meters beneath my feet.